Hey guys, welcome back to the Daily Crypto Market Update. Not much has changed for Bitcoin over the last 3 days or so. I want to tell you something that this does not mean everything is okay. Hiding everything on the chart, again, trying to show you where we are. We have two short-term-ish levels of support that were broken. $80,000 and then $75,000 from back over here on our crash in April. And Bitcoin has been unable to push above the $75,000 price target. And it's just been chopping sideways in a very tight range. Note that these opens and these closes are within a range of less than 2%. For all of you that are really excited about this, thinking, oh, this is super bullish, it's not. Anytime that Bitcoin's price action in a negative downtrend starts to get kind of like a little bit pent up, like this, even here, this range of 2%, it went up initially 5% and then it plunged a lot lower. Typically, when we see little to no price action, there's going to be a negative outcome. Not always, but I would say when we see price action stalling, which is exactly what's happening, and we see volume also falling, so stalling price action, falling volume, it's basically a lack of conviction from bulls to buy the dip. And this is also basically a battle that's happening right here with all these really weak closes ever since Saturday over the weekend. On-balance volume remains massively bearish for Bitcoin. The TBO remains very strong bearish as the price is still well below the cloud. On the daily time frame, RSI is still kind of sort of recovering. It's at 36.36, but yesterday closed at 35.32. It's not looking that strong. On the 4-hour, there was only a TBT bullish divergence confirmed last Friday, but this does not mean price go up. It just means that there is a bullish divergence between price, volume, RSI, and a lot of other factors. Going to the weekly time frame, just a couple of reminders. Bitcoin is very strong bearish. It pierced below the cloud. It pierced below the cloud last week and this week so far. Looking at RSI, it clocked in at 18.4 on last week's RSI close, which means that we are more likely to stay bearish than we are to bounce from here. On-balance volume is extremely strong bearish. Yes, volume spiked last week, but it also spiked on every other dump that we saw on the week of the 6th of October. It spiked as well. So this doesn't mean that we're going to be pumping higher. Again, when I typically see price action stall sideways like this, it usually falls. So you can remember, if the price is stalling and volume is falling, that's going to be a bearish outcome. Ethereum. This one is still struggling to push above 21.11. Right now, it's currently above it at 21.16, but anything can happen because today's candle just started about an hour and 50 minutes ago. Yesterday's close, yet again, not doing much of anything. Price is stalling, and it's stalling within a range of less than 2%, and volume is falling. So these are both bearish things that are happening. Now, on-balance volume has seen a significant increase here because Ethereum has had green candle closes. So we're seeing on-balance volume, the blue line, shoot right back up here to the moving average. Is this going to really change things? I don't necessarily think so. The moving average is still moving downward, even though it is kind of curling a little bit, but it's still pointing in the direction of down. So I don't think that we're going to necessarily see a massive rebound for Ethereum. If we do, it will be a short-term move. On the weekly time frame, still very strong bearish. On the 4-hour, no real bullish reversal signs at all. Now, combined stablecoin dominance, this is the one place where there might be signs of a reversal forming, and I want you to pay attention to this. The TBO indicator stands for the trending breakout indicator. This is the thing I use for all of my charts, all of my analysis, because it's fantastic in identifying the strength of the trend, upcoming reversals, and basically breakouts, breakdowns, and support and resistance pivots. What am I talking about? Well, you can see these dotted lines here. Red on top, green on bottom. The red on top is TBO resistance. The green on the bottom is TBO support. When we see a big push up higher, like back over here, so this is October 10th, we saw the price shoot up crazily high, but TBO resistance stayed at about 6.75 until we had right here a pivot high confirmed on the 12th of October. So there was a minor pullback on this chart, which means a minor recovery for crypto, but we know what happened. And we saw many of these such reversals, or rather pivot highs. Again, on the 19th of October, over here on the 5th of November, here on the 7th of November. And you can see it happening over and over and over and over and over, right? So what's the big deal? What does this mean? We're actually looking at one of these happening right now. It's in process, meaning it has not been confirmed, but TBO resistance here at about 9.26 is in process of shooting all the way up here to, what is this? 10.932%. What does that mean? It means that we might get a pullback here for stablecoin dominance. And if we get a pullback for stablecoin dominance, that means that we might see it fall down and touch the fast line, which is currently at about 10%. What does this actually mean in normal English, Aaron? It means that if we see stablecoin dominance fall down here to the fast line, we're actually going to see a more sustained rally for crypto. I don't have confirmation yet, so I can't really say that's definitely going to happen. Again, I'm seeing weak price action and super weak volume for BTC. Therefore, I don't expect something amazing to happen. And this is still in process. It's not confirmed until the daily close. But it is interesting to note that we are seeing a pivot high in progress. Bitcoin dominance, this one did pierce above the cloud on Sunday. On Monday, it closed back below the cloud. It's still back here at support. It's still a rough looking chart. On the weekly time frame, it's looking a little bit weaker. On the daily, it's still struggling a lot. If Bitcoin dominance starts to fall and stablecoin dominance is going to fall too, then we're actually going to see others dominance push up higher, whether I think it should or not. Now, others BTC is also a really good chart to watch and pay attention to. And the reason is because if we see some actual signs from stablecoin dominance dropping down here, and a drop from 10.842 to here at 10% is a 7% decrease in stablecoin dominance, I would actually expect alts to push up higher because of this. So we might see a recovery bounce. Again, this is conflicting with my theory or my expectations that we're going to see a drop from Bitcoin because of basically no price action and no volume. But seeing stablecoin dominance starting to droop, again, not yet confirmed. It will be confirmed in about 22 hours. But we're seeing the potential of a bounce for crypto. And others BTC being strong bullish above the cloud, even though I don't think it deserves to be here. And looking at the others crypto market cap, it's extremely strong bearish, just so you guys know. All right, it's not looking that great. On balance volume agrees, super strong bearish. Volume is well below the moving average. It's not bullish. The TBO is strong bearish. But there is a possibility that a lot of these coins might actually outperform Bitcoin in the short term. But I don't think it's going to last. Why did I speak with an Italian accent right there? I don't know. I don't think it's going to last. I don't even know what my wife will tell you I am terrible with accents. It's literally around the world in 5 seconds because I can't hold an accent to save my life. Now, with stablecoin dominance here, I want you to look at the TBO cloud. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because I need you to understand that stablecoin dominance is super strong bullish right now. All 4 lines are pointing up. This means that the macro trend is super strong bullish for this chart, which means everything else should be dumping while stablecoin dominance shoots up higher and higher. The next target is 13%, which is why this is blocked off right here. Okay, we also have a confirmed, let me get rid of those 4. We also have a confirmed second TBO breakout. The last time we had one of these on the weekly time frame for stablecoin dominance, we saw a little bit of a pullback, and then the third one, we saw a huge push up, 71%, from about 9% all the way up to 16%. I don't think that same exact thing is going to happen. And yes, we're pretty overbought. We could see a pullback here, but it doesn't really change the fact that the macro trend is extremely bullish for this, which means watch out for crypto. Totally 50. Similar story happening. Okay. I want to hide everything on this chart so that way you can see clearly. Okay. There we go. Except for the TBO. So you see this green dotted line right here? This is TBO support that was established on a pivot bounce here on the 19th of December. And then we saw it bounce up pretty high, 37%, which is great. Again, totally 50 represents the crypto total market cap, excluding the top 50 coins. So this is everything below that top 50 market cap. Okay, so these are our alts. These are our low cap gems. So we saw it lose support on the 31st of January, and it plunged down a crazy amount, down 21% over 7 days as Bitcoin dropped a lot lower, right? What happened during this time is that when we had this green bounce on Friday, look, we saw a drop here in TBO support from about 41.3 billion down here to 32.51 billion. You see that? So this is telling us that this is a pretty strong pivot low. What's happening today is that it's moved up. Again, it's in process. It's not yet confirmed, but it's something worth watching, which means that we might see a bounce from here. I will tell you that because this chart is massively strong bearish, confirmed by the slow line, which is very much pointing down. All 4 lines are all separately pointing down, super strong bearish. If we see totally 50 move up here to the fast line, I will be shorting the whole market. No questions asked, because we're macro bearish. Macro bearish, okay? Totally 100, similar story. We see support here at 8 point something billion. It goes down to 5.99, and now today it's up to 7.15. If we get any sort of a push of 10% up to the fast line, I'll be looking to short the entire market. No questions asked. Now, I've been seeing a lot more requests of TradFi charts, so I've actually made a new section here. That way it's a little bit easier to keep track of. So for TradFi, the Dixie plunged yesterday, which is quite interesting. It's interesting because there's weakness in the dollar again, which is supposed to be good for the stock market. It's supposed to be good for world currencies as well. The yen is strengthened as a result of this, which is cool, I guess. What's interesting, though, is that you'll see the price coming up here into the cloud and falling out of the cloud, coming up to tag the fast line on Wednesday the 4th and falling out of it yesterday. Notice, where did the price fall? It fell right to historical TBO support. You guys cannot deny how legit impressive that is. That's awesome. Now, we know that we've been noticing a pattern here. We see a high in November 2025 at around 100.412, and then we have a low here in December at 97. We have a lower high in the 16th, around the 16th of January at 99.5, and now we have a much lower low. This is technically a bull flag, to be honest, and bull flags have this pattern of putting in lower highs and lower lows until finally there's a breakout of that level and it shoots up a lot higher, something like this. It's a little bit too early to call this a bull flag, but that's how these work. On the weekly time frame, it's still not oversold, but it is strong bearish, and it has been strong bearish for quite a while. So it's interesting to see the sell-off happening for the dollar, and it's positively impacted, I believe, the stock market. Now, the PMI numbers should have a very positive effect on the stock market. My main concern is seeing a lot of struggle at historical TBO resistance for S&P futures at 69.53, and also seeing a lot of these blue diamonds, which are bearish reversal warning signals from the TBO. TBO close longs, not a command, but a consideration. On the weekly time frame, we've seen a lot of these TBT bearish divergence clusters. If you've been watching these videos, you know that I made a big stink about this, and I have every right to, because the last time we saw some of these, namely back over here, January 2022, we saw the S&P fall from 55.17 down to 41.93, losing 24% over 280 days. I also want to emphasize that just because we see a cluster, one of these yellow symbols here from TBT divergence, does not mean it will immediately pull back. Okay? I can go back over here and show you several that failed, and we actually saw it go up higher. What it's telling us, though, is that we are imbalanced between price, and we're seeing the fact that price is going up higher, but we're seeing weakening volume, we're seeing weakening RSI, we're seeing an imbalance in terms of those things. That's why we're getting these bearish divergence clusters, which typically tell us, watch out, we could be seeing a crash. Now, I know we have PMI numbers that are looking really, really good. Yes, I do think that we're going to see the S&P push up higher, but this is still on my radar, and I'm still very cautious with the S&P. Now, the Nikkei continues to pump. Yesterday, it pushed up all the way, making a new high at 58,000. And today, it actually tagged it again, and it's up 2.91%. Why? Because Takaichi Sanae has been reelected. There was a basically like a shotgun election, or I don't even know what to call it here. It's ridiculous, but they do these quite often. It's not like the United States where they have midterms. They're just going to say, we want to make sure the people want you in office. So they'll just do a flash election, something like that, just to check and see. And she won by an overwhelming majority. So the stock market in Japan is very happy about that. So we're seeing it push up a lot higher. Now going to some stocks to pay attention to. Because PMI numbers are good, we're seeing a pretty big rebound here from NVIDIA. From Friday until yesterday's close, 10% increase, which is crazy. It still has a valid TBO open short. The main thing that you should be concerned about is for any of you that use Bollinger Bands, okay? I don't. I know Dan from Coin Bureau Trading does. But when Bollinger Bands tend to get really compressed, really compressed, that means that we should be expecting some sort of explosive move, which is kind of what we saw over here. But the TBO is not using Bollinger Bands. It's using 4 different moving averages. When we typically see these 4 moving averages compress and get really tight together, right now the cloud is about 1.63%, measuring from the bottom to the top. That typically means we're going to have some sort of explosive reaction on any chart. And the chart in question is NVIDIA. On the weekly time frame, it's still strong bullish. RSI has been beaten down quite a bit. There is a level of resistance that you can't ignore here. And if we get any sort of push up, maybe weekly, RSI could go up to 70 again. But we clearly see a pattern of lower highs on RSI, complemented with higher highs in terms of price, which is bearish divergence. It's still a good looking chart. If NVIDIA has any sort of weakness, it will really damage the stock market in the US. GameStop, believe it or not, yes, GameStop is at this crazy overhead resistance, long-term overhead resistance level from a high from May 2024 to a high here in May 2025, a year later. And it's actually pushed above and it's holding above. We actually have more than 3 days above this resistance level, so we consider it as closed. Now, does this mean that GameStop is going to pump from here? I don't necessarily think so. I don't see any other signs pointing to that. The chart is strong bullish, though. On balance volume is strong bullish. The weekly is actually above the cloud, which is a sign of being strong bullish, believe it or not. I don't see a reason why GameStop should be pumping, but it's pretty nuts. Now, if we take a much wider view of this, going back to the January 2021 euphoria pump, back when Roaring Kitty had his heyday, and is that mega epic short squeeze from 2020 in July, all the way up here. So $1 all the way up to $120, up 11,000%. Now, if we draw out this, what I call a resistance fan, there is an approximate target around $40, which would be nuts. Understand, super duper crazy nuts. Nuts with chocolate nuts. I don't expect it to happen, but just so just so you're aware, if things get crazy and very bullish for the stock market, maybe people are going to go more risk on. Maybe they're actually going to buy GameStop. I don't know. Tesla continues to look a little bit sketchy on the weekly time frame. It's in bearish consolidation on the weekly. With that said, the slow line on the weekly is very strong bullish. In terms of RSI, we've noticed a major downtrend here and a loss of support. It makes more sense to see Tesla drop instead of push up higher from here. On the daily time frame, it's in bearish consolidation. Well, it did drop below and now it's back inside, so maybe you might want to say it's bullish consolidation. I don't know. It's a very short-lived dump below the chart. We have immediate resistance right now, basically at the fast line at 429, just to keep an eye on. And SoFi, which was another request, very strong bearish. So see what I'm talking about? This is what I was talking about in terms of NVIDIA. seeing the TBO cloud compress a lot. This is a sign of careful, there's going to be an explosive outcome. And we saw SoFi drop below the cloud on Tuesday, the 27th, losing 23%. Now we're seeing signs of a good possible buy the dip moment. If you are, the fast line is the best target short term to look for to exit. It's also quite bearish on the weekly. It went oversold. Yes, it might have an RSI reset, but it printed a TBO close long on the weekly 2 weeks ago. So if it happens to push up to the fast line, which is currently at $25, that would be a great place to pump the brakes, take some profit. Gold is still looking okay to me. It's very much oversold on weekly RSI. Weekly on balance volume is still massive. It's still incredible. Yes, it's seen a little bit of chop in terms of price. I honestly think that's because of this short-term Fibonacci retracement from the high at 56 down here to 4,400. So seeing the price struggle below the 618 at $5,109 makes sense. Note, it's above the cloud. So technically, gold is strong bullish in terms of the TBO, and all four lines are pointing up. I still think that gold has the potential to go up to $6,500, just not immediately. Silver is in danger of printing another TBO close long. Note that we've seen a lot of these, and when we see a lot of these, it's a bearish sign. It's not a positive sign. I think that silver can push up to $122 or even up here to $200, but it's going to take a long time. It'll probably be months at this rate because these are some pretty bearish stalling signals. Last but not least, uranium is actually pushing up higher. Now, this might not be the best chart to use. It is breaking out against or above rather short-term overhead support. It's back above the cloud. It's strong bullish. Whenever the daily TBO cloud, all four lines pointing up, means that this is a strong bullish chart. So any moves inside of the chart, they should be seen as a buy the dip opportunity, even if you were like, wow, really? Because it fell a lot. It fell from 8,162 down 20% down to 6,482, and now it's bouncing. So if it moves up from here, TBO resistance at 79.74 is a very smart place to look for taking out some profits just in case it twiddles out. I have more picks, more charts I want to share with you, but before I get into that, go to thebettertraders.com. It's pinned in the comments down below. It's also in the description of the video. Check out our courses. Start with 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. It's a great course. Check out the TBO indicator. It is the best trading view indicator I've ever used in my entire life because it identifies the strength of the trend, potential breakouts, potential reversals, automatically plotting support resistance levels. It's fantastic. Also, our journal has been updated. Now it is print on demand on Amazon, and my copy actually just arrived. Ta-da! So it's pretty nice. I thought I ordered a what is this? Hardcover, but it's a soft cover, so I can't actually. It's not going to stand up there on my shelf, but it'll look really cool once I get the actual one. Whatever. But go ahead and grab a copy. If you do get one, you like using it, leave a review. And then, of course, 2Bit, they're offering up to, or actually over, $15,000 in rewards and kickbacks for trading on the exchange, for holding funds on the exchange, all that good stuff. And they are, you can integrate 2Bit with the AllTrade platform. Cool. Let's get into my picks for today. I do have some picks from you. So if you are really wanting me to check out some charts that you're excited about, leave a comment down below. And make sure you add the $ sign so that way I can pick up on it real quick that it's an actual ticker. And yes, I'm starting to expand out, obviously, to TradFi, which includes stocks and stuff like that. So, yeah. But if you do that, make sure that you like the video, that you subscribe if you haven't. If you've done all those things, consider sharing, retweeting, reposting these videos online on your socials to help me reach my target of hitting 100,000 subs this year. It's going to happen. I believe it. All right, my picks. Let's start over here first. Skycoin. You remember this one? So this is one we've been watching. It has now shot all the way up here to TBO resistance. It actually overshot it by 3%, which is very interesting. Okay. Now that it's up here, it's above the cloud, strong bullish mode. Does this mean I am shorting this thing to the ground right now? I actually have been more concerned about making the video for you guys. I haven't thought about it, but what's really interesting to me is that we're seeing a higher high, but we're seeing a lower high in terms of RSI. Now, to be honest, it actually broke above resistance, ever slightly so. So that's a pretty positive sign. I would be surprised if Skycoin continues to push up higher. On the 4-hour time frame, it confirmed 2 TBO breakouts after a pretty crazy 23% move. So this is most likely going to be an exhaustion breakout, meaning that it's more likely to retrace down, at least short term, here to like 0.066 or so. In terms of the daily time frame, yes, on balance volume is bullish. Yes, volume has picked up a lot. I don't know if it has enough momentum to push up higher though. So it's a little bit of an iffy situation. Rain has just popped up on my radar. It had a crazy day yesterday, pushed up 12% and printed a TBO breakout on the daily time frame here on MEXC. On the 4-hour time frame, this chart is super low volume, which explains all the crazy wicks and stuff like this. It is bullish, even though on balance volume is clearly not bullish. Not quite sure what to make of the volume falling and all that stuff. So it might just be a liquidation pump to wipe out short sellers. So these two right here are blue because of those TBO breakouts. These are all green because of some bullish signs that I'm seeing with the TBO or with these, which is TBT divergence. Now, I want you to understand that TBT divergence, these are going to be extremely early bullish or bearish reversal warnings. Note, we saw our first TBT bearish divergence on the 1st of January, and the price of BNB still moved up about 10%. We saw 2 more. Yes, they called a reversal for about 4%, but the price still went up higher. So what do these things tell us? They tell us that there's an imbalance. And remember, the 4-hour time frame is 6 times weaker than the daily. So these are very early signals. So seeing 2 of these is promising, but it doesn't mean that these are really, really good signals. I just want you to understand that there's a big difference. These are really early, but there's a potential, again, like I shared before with stablecoin dominance, that we might see BNB shoot up higher. Now, if any chart happens to pump on the daily time frame up to the fast line, I'm considering all of these as a potential short. That's just how I'm trading the market right now. CC remains strong bullish, even though it had this nice pullback down here to the fast line. It bounced a little bit. I want to draw your attention to something though, even though this is kind of bullish. We don't have any TBO breakouts or anything like that, or sorry, TBT bullish divergences. It is closing above the cloud, but note how many times it's pierced the cloud. 4 in the last, 6 days. That's a sign of weakness to come. It makes more sense to see CC fall lower. Keep in mind, short-term overhead resistance, it's failing to break above that. It's more likely to fall inside of the cloud. And if it does, then it has a potential of dropping a lot lower. So why is it green? It's green because for now it's staying strong bullish, but there are hints of it being bearish. Aster continues to hold miraculously above this overhead resistance level. So now we're on day 3, which is the make or break day. Notice the price is also battling with the 236 fib level. There's a real battle of interest and volume going on right here. Now, I would love to see Aster go up higher because I'm just DCAing into this chart. I'm waiting for it to bounce up. The next targets to watch for, if it happens to push up higher, is here at the 382 Fibonacci level at 0.8027. And then if things got absolutely crazy today, overhead resistance is immediately at 94 cents, which is very unlikely. Tezos also has a TBT bullish divergence sign and a cluster. Now, a cluster is when we see a lot of these, actually 3 or more of these TBT divergences, whether they're bullish, like these are, or they're bearish, which these aren't. So a cluster just transforms the green triangle into a yellow one to draw our attention to this, to say, this is a big one. Now, I'm actually in a short position, and even though this is not a close short, which is a better signal to get confirmation on, like these orange diamonds right here, I'm still taking some profit out of my short position. It's a lot higher than I was previously expecting, but this is a position, guys, that I've had open since way back over here on the 23rd of January. So it went a max of 39% down, almost 40, and now here I am at 31%. I've already taken some profit. I'm taking some more profit out here just in case we see some sort of a bounce. It's not a guarantee, but again, this is how I'm using the signal, so I just want to share my strategies with you. Plasma is still very strong bearish. but it's showing TBT bullish divergences. And we have a cluster. The last time we had one of these, we saw an extremely small reaction of 15%. But note, at this time, the slow line on the 4 hour is starting to curl down. Look at how much more bearish it is now. So if we get any sort of push up, keep in mind the macro trend is still bearish. This is why it's dangerous getting excited about these potential bullish reversal signs, because there's a real potential for another further deeper pullback. H, this one pushed up and pumped on Saturday and then yesterday to the top of the cloud. Now, all of you that have been watching me for a long time, when it gets to the top of the cloud, this is a point where I'm like, okay, cool. I actually still have my H short open. Again, I took my short when the price came up here after seeing a TBO close long. So on the 26th of January, amazing entry down 38%. I took profit on the way down and I've waited to sell more. Now that the price has retraced all the way back here, I'm selling more. Why? Because I'm wildly in profit. And if I happen to be right, seeing that we're looking at a very high level of overbought RSI on the 22nd of December, 2025, a much lower level on January 16th, this year, 2026, and now we're seeing a much lower level, I'm looking at this going, oh, isn't that really interesting? Look at that. It's right at resistance. So this would be the place that would make the most sense to see it get rejected and fall lower. Therefore, I want to add more to my position to increase my potential profit if I'm right. And if I'm not, I get stopped out. Oh, well, I still took profit on the way down. That's how it's done. Actually, I should have queued that up better. Let me show you over here on Altcoin. I just have to zoom in a super duper lot. Let me show you. It's going to be blank for a second, so just give me a second. There we go. So you can see my position here on KuCoin futures. Here's my initial short entry at 0.1628. I took profit here down 24%. It's pumped up several times. I sold more yesterday afternoon, and it went up even higher. It doesn't matter. I have a stop loss here that's about to get triggered, which is my break even. Actually, my break even is a lot higher. So if I show you my position size over here, it's going to show you that I've already got some realized P&L. I've already made $200 out of this trade, which is awesome. So I'm still sitting pretty and I'm very happy with my trade. So I'm adding to my position, betting on the fact that I think it's going to go back down. And then when I do that, I'm going to add another take profit target, which I have right here. So this is another reason why I really enjoy using the Altcoin platform to execute these trades. Now, these orange flags right here are for some potential bullish reversal signs from TBO close shorts. This is what I was talking about before. So we have 4 of these. For Flare, we have a cluster. Jasmine, we have 1. 0, we have 2. Helium, we have 1. Now, these do not mean, oh, I'm going to go super duper long right now, nor are we going to chase. Typically, what we do is we wait for the price to pull back to touch the fast line right about there. So it's currently at 0.841. So the easiest thing to do is to set up an alert. So when the price crosses the fast line, and we just have it be once only, then we know, okay, cool, there's our entry condition. We got it. Or if you're like really, really antsy, you can say when the price is, I believe you can do, value is the TBO, and you can also add a condition as well. Like it's within this percentage of it. I can't remember where it is, but I just need to keep pushing on. It's really, really, really cool. All right, MYX. Now this is the inverse, a TBO close long. So a close short is a early bullish reversal signal. Close long is an early bearish reversal signal. You guys know I've been watching MYX for quite a while. I've been stopped out a couple of times on this chart, which stinks, but it's just how it goes in trading. It's totally fine. So we saw it push up here on Friday last week up to 691, and now it's falling back down. We're seeing 1 close long. Not enough to base an argument off of, but just keep it in mind. Now, of course, several charts are still very bearish. Bitcoin Cash continues to get capped. It's not moving above 541. The price is being suppressed over and over. I'm still betting that this chart's going to fall. Again, compressed, or rather, the price is stalling, volume is falling. It makes more sense to see the price fall as well. Hype. This one, after tagging the top of the cloud, has now fallen about 11 or 12%. This is one that was doing super duper well. How does on-balance volume look? Bearish. How does volume look? Bearish. See this massive spike here on Thursday last week? How's the price? It's starting to stall. Volume's falling. the price is stalling. That's bearish. H bar, this one is about to come up and tag the fast line at 0.09663, which would be a great entry for a short. You might get stopped out. It's part of the price of playing and trading, but is what it is. Night, this is a reason why I do this, okay? I took a short entry right here at the fast line because I knew this is a short-term bounce. It doesn't have enough momentum on the chart right now. Actually, I have it over here, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, over here on Altcoin. I'll show you the position. Well, it is small. I wasn't able to put in a lot of size because I have other positions open. Look at that. So I have my stop loss just above. It's quite risky. Please do not stop me out. But I took a short right there when I saw it touching the fast line. So literally, like, this is how I'm using the TBO to execute trades. You can see I have a target right here. That's at 4364. Why is it right there? I'm actually going to move this up. I think that makes way more sense right about there. And you can see I have these other targets a lot lower. I can actually change and adjust these. And if I think it's going to go a whole lot lower, which I actually do, I really want to maximize profit on this. Do something like that. Cool. I'm going to click this and then it confirms it. Boom. Done. Easy. All right. That's the whole idea and the whole concept behind using Altcoin is that it's going to update all of my tick profit targets and it's going to adjust it to what I want to do and how I want to execute the targets. And once this take profit target gets hit, stop loss gets automatically moved down to my break even, which is awesome. So, yep. Again, this is why I like using the TBO. Quant. This one is doing this right now. Right now. Right now. Okay. Chili's. This one is confirmed a TBO open short. River confirmed an open short, but it's moving up higher. This is one actually that I think it makes more sense to wait for the price to push up one more time to the 236 level, which is about $17 before entertaining a short. I have confidence that this one's going to continue falling because look at the volume. Absolutely drying up. So is the attention. So any pushes that go up, it's going to squeeze the shorts to make them panic, and then it'll fall a lot lower. FF, same concept. Night. FF, same idea. So that's why I'm looking at quant going, looks good. Zebek Network, same thing. Tagging the fast line on Sunday, and now it's down about 9% since then. So a couple of charts to keep your eyes on. XRP, this one, see this? We have our TBO support that got dropped from 177 down here to 111, and now it's pushed up. It actually got confirmed yesterday. So we should be viewing this as a pivot low. We might actually see XRP go up and tag the fast line where I'll be looking to add to my short position. M, this one is still making some crazy waves. It went to the top of the cloud. It dropped 32% yesterday or over a 24-hour period. And now it's just oscillating back and forth. This is honestly really good for just trading. Any charts that stick into the sideways range, really, really, really good for trading. Lighter, this one continues to struggle with overhead resistance. There's a big difference between this one and Aster, okay? So Lighter is still struggling to push up above resistance. Keep that in mind. Stable, this is also one that I have an open short position on as well, although I think it's on a different platform. Yep, it is. It's not over here in Altcoin. I was just checking to see. So this was one I'm actually adding to right here as well. It might be premature. I might get stopped out, but it's okay because I'm looking at a lot of these signs going, that's a really big move. 22% in a day. Not buying it. Literally, I'm not. ZKP. ZK passed on some crazy volatility over the last 24 hours, up 89%, like this wick over here on the first. Yeah. Now into your picks. Groot. No, it's not, but it looks like Groot. This is the graph. Still very strong bearish. 2 TBO breakdowns. The price is slowly dragging lower. If we get any sort of bounce up to the fast line, it should be considered either an opportunity to take profits out of a long position that you're DCAing with, or looking to open up a short. Whitebit, crazy price action for trading. This is actually really good stuff. If we go to a faster time frame, this is good. This is actually a great chart for trading. I'm surprised you guys share these charts so freely with us, but this is really, really, really good. I approve. It's a good chart for volatility. CCD, Concordium. Again, like Quant, like Night, like the other one I shared, it's tagging the fast line. The main difference with this chart, though, is that the slow line is still admittedly pointing up higher. It's super duper short-term oversold. but on-balance volume is very weak. Volume is kind of coming into it. Actually, a lot. It's overwhelming the moving average. I don't know. Mixed vibes on this one. SUI, strong bearish. Any move up here to the fast line, looking to short. Zcash, notice the price absolutely stalling in a ridiculous sideways range. On Saturday, the candle closed negative 0.07. Sunday, negative 0.22. Yesterday, 0.18%. Today, negative 0.57%. Do you guys think this is bullish? It's not. The price is stalling. Volume is falling. There should be a negative outcome for this chart. AXS is tagging the fast line today. Actually, someone in the Better Traders Club noted this and they said, I'm going to open up a short position on this. Cool. If they did it right there on the fast line, they're already in profit by almost 6%. Now, the thing we have to look out for when this happens, we want to do just a little bit of analysis before we just pump into anything. So we need to look at the status of it. Is it strong bearish in terms of on-balance volume? Strong bearish for the TBO? Volume? Yeah, we saw a short-term pump. That's cool. Yes, and there was this crazy move because AXS or Axie Infinity had this great mechanism that everyone's so excited about, except for the fact that no one had access to the TBO. That was super excited to buy all the way up here at 289 because they didn't know that historical TBO resistance is literally at 2.929. And the price on the 23rd of January went up to 2.988. And then Saturday, 2.997. And it absolutely crumbled from there. I'm not kidding when I say the TBO is the best trading view indicator I've ever used. Again, go to thebettertraders.com, sign up for it, use it, enjoy it. There's also a ton of material that's included teaching you strategies on how to use it, how to interpret the sign, like how to interpret the signals, a bunch of fun stuff, okay? This week, there's still so many good trading opportunities. If we see stablecoin dominance drop more, that means we should see a bounce for alts, which should be really good short term. Short term, if you're trading, protect profits at least. Please protect profits. Even in your short positions, I'm protecting profits and I'm getting stopped out with these little wins. I would much rather close a trade $5 in the red, $5 in the green, than $5 in the red. $5 in a profit wins $5 in a loss every time. That's the mentality you need to have to become a better trader, okay? I need you to watch this video though, because the reality about all these alts is that degradation is extremely real and it should terrify you. But there's so many incredible opportunities at the right time to find some crazy 10x, 50x, or 100x possibilities. I want you to watch this video that I shared on Sunday that explains how to use this website that's free to understand how to look at the data, how to study it, how to analyze it, and how to identify some really amazing performers. Watch that. Until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.